Welcome to my class today. Dear students, in my previous class, I discussed to you the bearded man confessed his guilt towards the jar. He told the jar how he was wounded by his bodyguard and what he had wanted to do with him. And he begged pardon or forgiveness from the jar. "Forgive me," said the bearded man in a weak voice. In the previous class, you noticed that this sentence, "Forgive me," said the bearded man in a weak voice, in the page number 56, just at the end of the page, "Forgive me." Now look at the line, "Forgive me," said the bearded man in a weak voice. Who was the bearded man? What did he say to the jar? Why did he beg forgiveness from the jar? Was he forgiven by the jar? Or how did the jar forgive the wounded man? In this way, a question may be set. And now, today in my class, I will discuss the part just after the paragraph I read, "Forgive me. I will serve you as your most faithful slave and will bid my sons do the same. Forgive me." Here, this is the portion of the story I already taught you. Now today in my class, I will discuss the next part. The jar was very glad to have made peace with his enemy so easily and to have gained him for a friend. And he did not only forgive him, he not only forgave him, but said he would send his servants and his own physicians to attend him and promised to restore his property. Here, this is the paragraph in which the jar forgave the wounded man by pleasing something. Now, listen to me. The jar was very happy to have made peace with his enemy, to have established friendly relationship with the wounded man. Here, the wounded man was the foe or the enemy of the jar. But the jar was very happy or gleeful to have established friendly relationship with him, with the wounded man, so easily, and to have gained him for a friend. And he not only forgave him, but said he would send his servants and his own physicians to attend him and promised to restore his property. Here you see that the jar forgave him, and at the same time he said that he would send his servants and his own doctors or physicians to attend him, to serve him, and promised or pleased. Promised means pleased, P-L-E-D-G-E-D. P-L-E-D-G-E-D, pleased, promised. Pleased or promised to restore his property, to give back. Restore means to give back his property. Restore means give back. Give back. To give back his property. Here the jar forgave the wounded man, and at the same time he said that he would send his servants and physicians to nurse the wounded man or to attend to him, to tend to him, and promised or pleased to give back his property that he once had seized. Having taken leave of the wounded man, having taken leave of the wounded man, having taken leave, take leave of means depart. Take leave of means depart. D-E-P-A-R-T, depart. Depart. Having taken leave of the wounded man. Having taken leave of the wounded man. Having departed from the wounded man, the jar went out into the porch. The jar went out into the porch. Porch means baranda. V-E-R-A-N-D-A. V-E-R-A-N-D-A. Baranda. Or portico. P-O-R-T-I-C-O. Portico. Baranda or portico. Went out into the porch and looked around. Looked at different sides. Looked around means looked at different sides for the hermit. Having departed the wounded man, that is, the jar had taken leave of the wounded man. The jar had departed the wounded man and went out into the porch. Went out into the portico and looked around for the hermit. Looked at different sides for the hermit. Before going away, he wished once more to beg an answer to the questions he had put. Why did the jar go out into the porch to look around for the hermit? Because the jar wished once more to beg an answer to the question he had already put to the hermit. The hermit was outside on his knees, sowing seeds in the beds that had been dug the day before. The hermit was outside when the jar was looking at different sides in order to beg an answer to his questions he had put. The hermit was outside. Here the question may be said, where was the hermit when the jar was looking around for the hermit just after taking leave of the wounded man? The hermit was outside. What was he doing there? The hermit was sowing seeds in the beds that had been dug the day before. The hermit was sowing the seeds in the beds that had been dug the day before by the hermit and the jar. The jar had helped the hermit in order to dig the beds the day before. And the hermit was sowing the seeds in the beds there. The jar approached him and said, "For the last time, I pray you to answer my questions, wise man." The jar approached. Approach means proceeded or went forward. P-R-O-C-E-E-D. Proceeded or went forward. Went forward. Went forward. Proceeded or went forward. The jar proceeded or went forward and said, "For the last time, I pray you to answer my questions. I pray you to answer. That is, I request you to answer my questions, wise man." Addressing the hermit as wise man, the jar requested him to answer his questions. You have already been answered, said the hermit. When the jar approached the hermit and said, and requested to answer his questions, the hermit said, still crouching on his thin legs and looking up at the jar, who stood before him, you have already been answered. You have already been replied. The hermit, stooping or bending very low on his legs, or cowering, 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 or crouching on his thin legs, looking up at the jar, said that he had already been answered. He had already been replied. That is, the hermit here indirectly told the jar that he had already given the answers to his questions. When the jar asked him again in order to give him the answers to his questions, the hermit told him in an indirect way that he had already been answered. But in this respect, when the hermit gave him the answers in this way, looking up at the jar who stood before him, here the jar stood before the hermit, and looking up at him, the hermit told him in this way that he had already been answered. How answered? That is, how was I answered? How have I been answered? How was I answered? How have I been answered? The jar was astonished on hearing this from the hermit. Then, what do you want to say? What do you mean? Asked the jar. The jar then asked the hermit how he had been answered and what he wanted to say, what he wanted to mean. Do you not see? Do you not understand? Replied the hermit. If you had not pitied my weakness, then the hermit gave him the answers in his own explanation from the experiences, from the practical experiences. If you had not pitied my weakness yesterday, and had not dug those beds for me, but had gone your way, that man would have attacked you. That man, who is that man referred to here? That man referred to here is the bearded man who ambushed himself or took shelter in a secret place in order to attack him. That man would have attacked you. That man would have attacked him, and you would have repented of not having stayed with me. Here the jar explained to him in this way. Here, the hermit explained to the jar. If the jar had not pitied his weakness yesterday, the previous day, and had not dug those beds for the hermit, but had gone his way, that man, the bearded man, would have attacked him. And for this, he would have repented of not having stayed with the hermit. In this respect, the hermit might have been wounded by the jar might have been wounded by the bearded man. So the most important time was when you were digging the beds. Here, the jar was digging the beds for the hermit. So the most important time was when you were digging the beds. The most important time. Here, the most important time to the jar was when he was digging the grounds for the hermit. And I was the most important man. Who is I referred here? The hermit was the most important man to the jar. And to do me good was your most important business. To do me good by digging the ground was your most important affair, was most important action or business. Yet these were the three answers to his questions. The three questions that had occurred to the jar were what is the most important time, who is the most important person to attend to, and what is his most important business, or what is the most important business to do or appear to do. Here, according to the explanation given by the hermit, the three answers were given in this way from the practical experiences throughout the day. So the most important time was when you were digging the beds. The jar was digging the beds at the time when he reached the hermit, and the hermit was the most important man then, and by doing the work, by digging the ground, he did his best to help the hermit, and this is the most important business to the jar. Afterwards, when that man ran to us, who is that man referred to here? The bearded man who was attacked by his bodyguard, by the bodyguard of the jar, was that man referred to here. When that man ran to us, the most important time was when you were attending to him. After having been attacked by the bodyguard of the jar, the wounded man went to them, and then the most important time was when the jar was nursing him, the jar was tending him, the jar was nursing the wounded man when he came to him after having been wounded by the bodyguard. And for if you had not bound up his wounds, he would have died. He would have bled to death. He would have died. He would have bled to death without having made peace with him, with you. If you had not bound up his wounds, he would have died. He would have bled to death without having made peace with him. Here, afterwards, just after giving his own description, the hermit then wanted to make the jar out who was the most important person, what was the most important business, and what was the most important time to do any action in regard of the wounded man. Here all these were given in respect of the wounded man by the hermit. The most important time was when you were attending to him, when you were nursing him, when you were tending him, when the wounded man went to them. So he was the most important man. Here, who was the most important man? To whom? Who was the most important man? The wounded man was the most important person. The wounded man was the most important man to the jar. And what you did for him was your most important business. What you did for him, here, what did he do? What did the jar do to the wounded man? Here the jar nursed the wounded man. The jar took care of the wounded man by bandaging and rebandaging his wounds in order to stop flowing in order to stop the blood from his wounds. What you did for him was your most important business. Here he did his best in order to take care of the wounded man, in order to survive him. This is the most important business to the jar. In this way, he discussed the three answers to the jar. Here now, in respect of the wounded man, these three answers were given by the hermit to the jar. Here he said that the most important time was when he was nursing the wounded man, when the wounded man came to them, and the wounded man was the most important person to the jar, and to do him good. That is what he did for the wounded man was his best action, was his most important action or most important affair at that time. Remember then, there is only one time that is important now. That is important now. The present time. Now, this is the present time. It is the most important time. The present time is the most important time because it is only time when we have any power. At present or in the present time, any man can have the power to do anything. At present time, anyone can have the power to do anything. That is, the present time is the best time, the perfect time to do any action. There is only one time that is important. That is, the most important time is present. Why? Because it is the only time when we have the power. The most necessary man is he with whom you are. The most necessary man, this is thought in general. The most necessary man is he with whom we are. Generally, the most important persons or the most important man is he with whom we are. For no man knows whether he will have ever dealings with anyone else. And the most important affair is to do him good, because for that purpose alone was man sent into this life. The most important affair is to do him good. The most important affair is to do him good. These were the three answers given by the hermit to the jar in general. Present time is the best time. Present time, P-R-E-S-E-N-T, present time is the most important time, or present time is the most important time to begin an action. The most necessary man is he with whom we are. Important person is he. Important person is he with whom we are. Present time or now is the important time. Important person is he with whom we are. And the most important affair is to do him good. Most important affair. Important affair. Important affair. AFFAIR. Most important affair is to do him good. Is to do him good. Here most. In all respect you will have to regard most present time, most important time, most important person, most important affair. Here these were the three answers given by the hermit in general to the jar in this way. From the practical experiences throughout the whole life, the jar was with the hermit, and he had taken the experiences throughout the whole day, spending with the hermit and the wounded man. Here, in this way, now see, the hermit gave him the answers from the practical point of view, or from the practical experiences throughout the whole day. And now, students, this is the end of the story, and from this story I may discuss some questions. Now, what were the three questions that had occurred to the jar? What were the three questions that had occurred to the jar? What were the answers? What were the three questions that had occurred to the jar? What were the answers given by the hermit? Or what were the answers of the questions? In this way, the question may be set. Now students, before going to the explanation of the questions, if I ask you about the moral of the story, what will be the moral of the story? What is the moral of the story? What is the moral of the story? What will be the moral? The moral of the story is that a man learns best from his personal experiences. The moral of the story will be that a man learns best from his own experiences. There can be no fixed set of ideas as to determine the right time to begin an action, to the right people, to determine the right people to consult with, or the most important affair to do. Such decisions may arise out of particular situation, and one has to act accordingly or according to the demand of the situation. That is, one cannot have, or there cannot be any fixed set of ideas as to determine the right time for every action, as to determine the right people to consult with, that is, to listen to or to avoid, or the most important affair. One may have to decide out of the particular situations according to the demand of the situations. One have to take the decisions whether to perform the action, whether to do the actions. In this way, you will have to give you the moral of the story. But a man's primary duty is to do good to people around him. Man's primary duty. Here from this last line you will see, for that purpose alone was man sent into this life. The most important affair is to do him good. That is, the primary duty of man is to do good to people. For that purpose, man was sent to this earth, to this world. In this way, you will have to give you the moral of the story. Now, what were the three questions? What were the three questions? What were the three questions that had occurred to the jar? What were the three questions that had occurred to the jar? What were the answers? What were the answers? What were the answers given by the hermit? Given by the hermit. No. Who was the bearded man? Question number 3. Who was the bearded man? Who was the bearded man?